So how are the free ports in the United Kingdom connected to Russia? Anyway, while here, please boot the old like button. You see, it is deeply concerning when I read one article, a news report, saying there's 20-odd military vehicles that have been supplied to Russia to fight on the front line in Ukraine. Probably could be given to the Koreans that have been supplied by North Korea and currently training in Russia. Some have already moved towards the front line. Now this is worrying, but how is it connected to the free ports? Well, you see, the free ports in the United Kingdom, many of them have been run, such as the Thames Freeport, by DP World. And DP World is from the UAE, United Arab Emirates. And the United Arab Emirates, they own, Dubai, is basically owned by the government, you see. So, in one hand, they are supplying military vehicles adapted to Hiluxes, basically it's the chassis and there's a whole new body on it, and also Ford F-550s that are heading over to Russia, allegedly supplied by Dubai. And on the other hand, we're allowing this, disgraceful company to run the free ports in the UK. This isn't the first time we've had this issue with, DP World. Since DP World is the company in the UAE, let's say it's owned by Dubai, who decided to sack 800 people by text, video message, for P&O ferries. And all those people that said we're going to boycott P&O ferries and that, what they do? No. As soon as it's always cheaper, they go back on that ferry and head to wherever they're going to head to. Hypocrites. I just don't know where we're heading with all this. We're allowing all these countries that have dubious records of human rights, for instance, to get their talons into the country, into the United Kingdom. More so now than what they did before Brexit was a thing, you see. A lot of this stuff couldn't have happened while we were members of the EU. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying we couldn't have free ports, because we could have had free ports in the UK. The idea that we couldn't have free ports just because of being a member of the European Union, well, that was a fallacy. That wasn't true. There's countries in the EU who have already got free ports. They don't operate particularly well. No. You see, the thing about these free ports is they don't really give any benefit to anyone but those within the free port. For instance, if a foreign company or individual decides they want to invest in their company in the free port, they've got to start a new company in the free port, okay? But they need to build some premises. Well, the planning permission only takes 28 days within the free port. They tell you that themselves on their actual website. 28 days to get planning permission for industrial buildings passed. There's no planning there. Where's all the risk assessments, etc., and how it's detrimental to the environment, all that sort of stuff. Isn't he great crested newts? You know? It's dubious, to say the least, and dangerous. Now, we've got Russia buying arms, avoiding sanctions, buying them through proxies such as India, allegedly, and the UEA, that's university, UAE, avoiding all these flippant sanctions, and then we allow them in the country to do their bidding. It's beyond belief. Now, I know what people are going to say. Well, you've got to keep your enemies closer and all that, you know. No, that's bollocks. You've got to have some morals. How do these people sleep at night, you know? We're constantly dealing with countries. Like, for instance, we're supplying weapons to Israel at the moment, considering what they're up to. And don't get me wrong, I don't actually think it's actually Israel itself. It's obviously their Prime Minister, Netanyahu, who just wants to keep himself in power. Not everyone in Israel agrees what's going on. They don't necessarily all support what's going on. And those who reside abroad, they don't necessarily agree what's going on. They might believe something needed to happen, but not genocide, because that's what it looks like to me. And we're supplying them with weapons. I have to admit, though, at least Emmanuel Macron, so, you know, you can say what you like about him, he's said no more. That's enough. When the IDF decided to, that nincompoop decided to invade Lebanon, that was the right thing to do. Just say, oh, no, you're going too far now. I'm just. The more I look at this, I could go on and on about this. I just found so much in that neck of the woods, you know, like for instance Saudi with the I can't remember his name, the journalist who got cut up and put in a suitcase, you know. There's so much of this stuff going on in that neck of the woods, you know, we shouldn't really be. No. We've got to have some morals. I just find it all a bit much. I really do. And I find it embarrassing. Especially when there's no real gain. The companies are going to gain from it because they've only got to deal with, customs in one direction. They haven't got to deal with the customs coming into the country in a free port. They've still got to deal with the customs obviously going to all these 140 other countries that DP World say that they deal with, ports and what have you. 130 ports. I just I'll wrap my head against the wall, bash my head against the wall. It just feels a bit much, and it's not getting well. It's not getting well. We are getting in too deep with forces that, quite frankly, all they want to do is, strip us. Strip the country naked. And the government's allowing it to happen. It started with Rishi Sunak, you know. Well, actually started with Boris Johnson, actually, and Rishi Sunak as Chancellor, and then he was the Prime Minister, carried on with it. At 9 odd free ports, you know. Huge areas been designated. You know, if you think the free ports are big now, there's actually larger areas that have been designated. Some are about 70 miles across. I've got all the maps for them. I've shown them in previous videos on this channel. We are literally being bled. I just find it excruciating. And nobody really wants to do anything about it. You talk about things like free ports and stuff like that, and nobody really cares. And free ports have no benefit to you. None whatsoever. It only benefits the companies that are in the free port. Local councils and what have you outside the free ports, which would have earned some money from, trade in those areas, that's all lost. It's all gone. So there's no money for public services, etc. It's just crazy. And I understand there's a bit of tenterhooks at the moment regarding a $1 billion deal with DP World regarding free ports and that at the moment, investment and what have you. I hope it falls through. I really do. We need to stop interfering in other countries, and they need to stop interfering in the United Kingdom. The only time we should be really sticking our nose in, if it's to save human life, not to take it. Some tyrant is going around killing their own people Well, then maybe we have a moral responsibility to help them people. But no. We'll just supply the weapons. That's what we'll do. I don't want to be associated with that, you know? I really don't. Anyway, what say you? Sorry about that. I just kind of... I don't know. I had a specific idea for this video, and I've just gone off kilter. I already have, but sod it. I just got to say, I just feel it's a moral responsibility to look after others. Those who are less fortunate than ourselves. That's why we have the NHS, you know? So we've got a system there that can fund looking after others. But no, we're building the weapons to kill people who can't defend themselves. And the IDF will just make the excuse that there's tunnels underneath or something like that. So there may be. I'm sorry, I don't think that's an excuse. This is not collateral damage. This is murder. Murder of just ordinary people. And you know, when you see these folk, what have you, and they're coming in little boats, what have you, and end up in the UK when they're fleeing tyranny and whatever, whether they're men, women, or whoever, children, you know, it doesn't really make their people. Yes, you are going to get some wrong ones in that lot as well, obviously. Many fleeing because of stuff that we've done or interfered with. And when we really needed, like for instance, when we left Afghanistan and the Taliban, when we were really needed, where were we? Just, you know? No moral responsibility. And we can't even say sorry to people that have, you know, slavery and all that. I'm not talking about reparations because I don't necessarily believe that there should be reparations because it just doesn't make any sense to me. Those who don't believe in slavery and stuff like that, our kids should be paying for that. No. Make Drax pay for it in a day. He's got a sugar plantation in the Caribbean. He can pay. He can pay. You know, maybe not 200 billion, but you know. You tell me what you think regarding this. It's just that we just seem to be getting in bed with the devil. We really are. Sorry. But we are. We're still allowing our stuff to end up in Russian hands. We know where it goes. It's just ridiculous. Anyway, you tell me. Please leave in the comments down below. Sorry about that. I don't know. If you want to support the channel on Patreon, buy us a coffee. Links down below if you want to. But we're doing rewilding here in France, which at least that's positive. At least that makes you feel like you're achieving something. But we're basically planting trees now, you know, for animal habitats, what have you. But also, yeah, planting trees is a good thing anyway, isn't it? And also to for mental health, I think. You know, just so where we can go and just chill away from all this nonsense. It's just, none of this makes sense to me. None of it does. We're meddling and we're allowing them to meddle in our affairs. Don't invite them in. You know what they say? Don't invite, well, Dracula across the threshold. No. Because he'll bleed you. And that's what we've done. We allowed him to bleed us. Anyway. There's links down below for every wilding. If you want to buy a tree, we basically plant a tree on your behalf, but also I'll make a sign to go with your tree and what have you. It could be a memory of a loved one, just your name, or maybe a present for Christmas, what have you. Maybe. Instead of a Christmas card, so you don't end up cutting down 1 billion trees every year just for Christmas cards, which seems like nonsense to me. Anyway, I'm going to go. I'll keep saying that, but I know. I'm going to say toodaloo. Toodaloo.